and welcome back to Bill's Retro Stuff. Today I am going to clean up the motherboard and replace the battery, or at least check the battery and replace it on my Tandy 3100 Model 10 made by AST computer. Last Tandy badged computer with at least with the Tandy badged on it. So first of all, what we'll do here, I'm going to go ahead and take the memory out, which usually ain't that hard. You just pull these little tabs and everything comes forward, and we'll clean those up. I've got 16 mega memory we'll put in it. I think if I understood right, it came with 1 mega originally. So I don't know exactly what size these are, but we can figure it out. It looks like it's got a couple different types of memory in it. On these older ASTs, I always used Apple memory. That's compact memory. I would just think it's funny as all get out. So if you look, there's a compact in that. And this one here is a Kingston. I don't know what they originally put in here. I don't think they put these hodgepodge. And this one here, I have no clue. Oh, it's a Oki. I don't know, but I think it's part of the Oki data line, but that's an Oki memory. And we've got one more in here. We'll take this one out and see what this one says here. These metal tabs are tough. And this here is a, no clue. Doesn't tell you. Oh, it's a Texas Instruments. That's Texas Instruments. This is a compact. So whoever added a bunch of hodgepodge memory. I can't imagine Tandy adding all this hodgepodge memory in here. But I've got some good memory up here. But we'll try loading it with this type of memory. But right now let's clean up this motherboard a little bit. So what I usually do is I take a paintbrush here. I've got some alcohol. If we had to, but most times you can take a paintbrush and just clean it up and just kind of brush it down a little bit, like I'm doing here. And that dust smell, I can smell the dust now, and I can honestly tell you this is from a machine shop, or a shop anyway of some type. But normally that's what I do with it. I'll just dust it all, clean it up. It don't look too bad. Just like I said, now the motherboard may be mad, or bad. It could be mad too, but it may be bad. Usually stuff that's set in the machine shop takes a lot more wear and tear than do your home stuff. So whoever, this here probably was ran. I may have to do some alcohol on this because I still have a lot of dust and stuff here. Let me go back. Let me go get some air real quick. Yeah, they unlike regular household dust, this stuff is a lot worse, as you can see it a little bit there. I've got a big air compressor. If it wasn't for being so loud, I would fire that up. Even though it's in the other room, you can still hear it. So we'll just kind of blow some of that off. Looks pretty good. Alright, like I said, I would usually use my air compressor, but it'd be too loud. We wouldn't be able to look at much. So anyway, this is the motherboard. So now let's just snap this battery out of here. Give me a nice thing about this part. See, I can actually sit down and do something instead of standing and doing stuff. So I can pinpoint stuff a little better. So let's pull that battery on out. Luckily, I don't know how old it is, but luckily I always hate taking these batteries out. Throw this memory over here and we'll clean it up. Memory's probably more static sensitive than anything. Well, a lot of the stuff used to be static sensitive, but I've never had any trouble with burning something up because of static. There we go. Come on, there we go. Alrighty, here's the battery. Got a little corrosion there. Grab a hold of all the stuff I laid over here. So let's grab my battery tester here. And here it is. And let's go down to, let's see. Alright, let's go up here to the button cell. Let's see what we've got in here. So we'll slide it down in here, just like so. Push the button, and nothing. That's lithium. I know it's not lithium. It's a 1.5 volt button cell, or is that a 3 volt? 3 volt. But nothing. It won't even go backwards. So we'll replace that. We can go up to 3 volts, but it still doesn't make a difference. It's still dead. So let's go see if we can replace it. I probably should have one here somewhere. I'll look in my little box over here. See what I got. There we go. Got this one right here. There we go. And there's an old one. Let's try this one here. Alright. Panasonic. Let's see if that works. CR2032. Oh, wrong. I figured it backwards. It's a good battery. So we'll put that one in there. Probably the first time it's had a good battery in a long time. Let's see here, was that the one? No, that's the one right here. This one here's got a little bit of a bulge in the top. Where that one there don't. It's a CR20. They're both Panasonic, so. Or it's a Toshiba. This is a Toshiba. So yeah, that's fine. So we'll check it again, but nothing. Dead. Dead as a doorknob. You can put your tongue on it. I know people get mad when you say stuff like that, but you can. You know. So we'll go ahead and slide that in there. And let's, don't mind which way it goes, just slide down in there. Now it's got a brand new button battery. And at this point we're going to set this aside. And, well, yeah, we'll set this aside because there's something else I want to tinker with. So we'll go ahead and move this aside. We've got it all fairly clean. It looks better than it did. Normally, you know, you want to scare somebody. What I normally do is I take this outside and I'll degrease it. And then I'll bring it back in and watch people cringe when I do, because they say, well, I can't bring it back in. You let it sit out in the sun, or you let it sit for a week after washing it with water. I used to do that to televisions all the time. I used to take and I used to wash them outside. I learned that from my buddy. He had a little TV repair shop, and I'm just taking. I thought I was going to be finished, but I'm just taking, just kind of taking anything else off that, like off the chips, so that if there's any type of oil residue or something, they don't overheat. Yeah. So, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And even the ends don't look too bad. The computer itself is not in too bad shape. But so other than that, see where the feet sat, but the bottom don't look too bad. But you smell it, it sure smells like it was in a machine shop. So anyway, we replaced the battery because the battery was bad. So now it's got a fresh battery. We'll lay this aside for a second. We'll go ahead while we're here and we'll clean up the memory a bit. Just kind of give it a little brush down. And make sure there ain't nothing on it, because we may put that back in. We'll see. I don't like that it has, I mean, they have to be the same size. Unfortunately, the old computers, all the sizes had to match. So if you put 4 megabyte memory in that computer, you had to put all 4 megabyte. You couldn't mix and match. Some people said you could, but then you run into all kinds of different problems. So I always found that if you're going to do 1 megabyte of computer memory, then make all of them, or 4 megabytes, make them all 1 megabyte. All the memory size 1 megabyte. Don't try to do other stuff. Don't try to mix and match. I've never. See, this is another thing too. When I used to work on computers in the old days here, some computers for some reason did not like the tin plated. These are tin plated. They all like the gold plated. Compact was the worst of that. HP wasn't too bad, but yet they were still pretty picky. I remember a local company of mine in our area a long time ago. I'll lay these aside 'cause I've got these all blown out and cleaned up, and we'll just lay them over by the computer there. Used to have a problem with that. They come in, they needed a computer part, and so I went ahead and I said, well, what you got? They said they had compacts. I said, well, then you need gold pin memory, which I don't think they were gold. I think it was just copper. But no, standard memory worked just fine. Huh? Okay, so I give them standard 10 plated. He come back and said, these memory modules ain't no good. So I put them on our tester, and it tested fine, and found out that I was right. It needed specific memory. It couldn't just use just standard memory. Now, what the difference was, to be honest with you, I don't know. I'm just taking a little bit of alcohol here and just kind of wiping stuff down a little bit, because this card edge here has some hard dust on it. So we'll go ahead and clean it up while we're thinking about it here. So that way that'll be, I'm doing it off camera here. I got to remind myself to do stuff on camera, so I'm just cleaning this up. I'm talking, not even paying attention. Usually I'm not used to doing with the camera. So, alrighty. So, yep, I'm not used to doing stuff on camera. So I'll get used to it. This is only probably my third video. One of these days I'll show you my first video I ever did, and an unboxing of some Atari discs, and my son recorded it for me. It's funny. It had a lot of editing. It had to be done. Alright, so we'll put this over by the computer. That'll take care of that. So now, let's go look at this sound card. This sound card is as dirty as all get out. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. Man, look how dirty. And the thing is, it's I don't know, it's just some, it's not home dirt. People may think I'm silly, but there's a difference between home dirt and factory dirt. I can't tell you what. Either this is on a shop floor somewhere, or it was something else, or somewhere else. But these things here, I mean, look at it. That's some really hard dust on that. But it's not home dust. Home dust is real fluffy. Most generally, home dust is real fluffy. This even's got a shop smell. Like I said, I've done a few things with shop. You know, see that? Look at it. No. Come on. There we go. Autofocus. Yeah. Look at that. Look how dusty that is. Let's come back out here. We're done with the tester for right now. We're done with that, so we'll lay that up over here. So let's see what we got here. So this is going to be tricky. I would love to give this a bath, to be honest with you. But look at that. It's just not. It's just a weird. I mean, it's a hard dust, and you can, like I said, you can smell it. It's a shop dust, which is bad, really, because especially if it's like in a machine shop or stuff like that. It gets that chemical on it, the glycol coolant and all that stuff in it. So what I'm going to do here, man, look at that dust. We're going to wipe that dust down here. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and blow the dust out of it. At least get that so it doesn't look that bad. Like I said, people laugh that I would take this out and give it a bath. Degrease it, give it a bath, and do some other stuff to it. But I'm not going to do that with this, because, and to be honest with you, I may, if it works, I may take it all back apart and give all the boards a bath. I'm just trying to get in some of the stuff off of everything, so that it, get that back down. All right, there we go. Get some of that stuff off of it. This is just an alcohol, so you can see it evaporates pretty quick. Alright, we're just going to, foot's the bottom. I'll tell you what, in the day, this, even ad-libbed in the day was expensive, but this stuff here was expensive. I mean, course, it's new technology back then. It wasn't like it is now, but man, oh man, you want to talk about expensive. I had an ad-lib card, and it was expensive at the time, and even it was cheaper, really, when Sound Blaster came. They really dropped their prices, so it wasn't like it was, you know, as expensive as they, but they were, I mean, I had an ad-lib card for a long time, and I wish, you know, it's funny, like I told you on my intro video, a lot of the stuff that been nice just to keep, you know, been nice to keep the old stuff we threw away. Alright, well, that card there is a lot cleaner than it was. Got a little shine to it now. We'll put this aside and we'll do the modem, which I may not put the modem in, but we're going to clean it anyway. Modem's the same way. Modem is pretty cakey. So let's go ahead and just kind of brush. I don't know, I may put the modem in for old time's sake, but there was another card in this computer they pulled out, and I don't know exactly what it would have been. You know, the thing is, this is 16, you know, it's funny how modems have, you know, that was the thing. If you wanted to communicate on the outside, you needed a modem. But this is a reveal modem on top of that. I don't know if you can see that or not. Too much light, I do believe, but it's a reveal PM 25 or 525. We're done. I don't know. So that's a reveal modem. Reveal was a lot of stuff in reveal. I don't necessarily think reveal was the highest quality stuff you could ever get, but it was. They were out there. A lot of reveal stuff. But this has got serious logic chipsets in it, so that's pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, I'd say that cleaned up pretty good. Got some of the old nasty dust off of it. So, alright, well that's that card there. So, well, that's about it for as far as cleaning cards go. I am going to our next one. We're going to take apart the floppy disk and the CD-ROM and clean it up, and then we'll take her around with the hard drive and we'll see if it will power up. If it will spin. If it spins, that'd be great. If it doesn't spin, then, you know, I will figure it out from there. I've got other hard drives we can put in there, you know, so, you know, they other stuff, you know, but well, that's it of the cards and the motherboard. We've got all that cleaned up, ready to put back in the system. So let's on our next video, let's tackle the hard drive. Thanks for watching Bill's Retro Stuff.